Hey everyone. Man, I gotta tell you, there's no coffee. Okay, it's like in the middle of the day, so um, not right now. I have Reese's Dark Thins though. I thought they would be more chocolate than peanut butter, but they're actually pretty balanced, and I kind of digging them. And they're from the freezer. I think frozen peanut butter cups are just like the best way to eat a peanut butter cup. There's no wrong way to eat a peanut butter cup, mind you. Look, the cat wants to get. No, it's not her show. No, it's not my show either. Um, but real quick, I wanted to. No, my hair's not colored yet or anything like that. Um, but I'm so excited. Something really exciting happened last night. Um, okay, so I have, along with the depression and anxiety that the doctor said I had. They also told me something I kind of already knew, that I have misophonia. If you don't know what that is, basically there are certain sounds that when I hear them, um, depends on the sound. Some of them like make my ears and my teeth hurt. Clanging silverware, for an example. I hate when metal clangs together. It goes down my ear canal and just physically hurts my teeth. Um, and then I get stressed out about it. Um, Chewing with your mouth open, okay, makes me want to punch holes in the wall. And I'm not exaggerating. It fills my whole chest and face and like upper everything with anger. And it just makes me super uncomfortable, and I just hate everything at that moment, and just really want to, you know, whoever it is, I really want to just tell them off and tell them, like, why can't you shut your mouth? Um, there's lots of other noises, but so yeah, I definitely super have that. And, um, the only time that clanging silverware never bothered me was when I was pregnant with my son. And I don't know why, but it's the only time that it didn't bother me. So last night I was eating supper with someone, and um, before uh, we were eating, I I heard a ringing in my, like, you hear ringing in your ears, and um I just kind of joked around like, oh, someone's talking about me. And then so we're eating supper and everything, and I one of the sound effects that I really don't like um kept happening. And but I what I noticed is that I was like really calm, and then once I was aware of that, then I was listening to it and like realizing what was happening. In that moment, it was like that noise didn't bother me. And that was the first time in a really, 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 really long time, maybe even ever, that the noise that I heard last night did not bother me. And I started crying, and right away I felt like someone had prayed for me. Someone had, someone must have prayed for me, or, maybe that was the ringing in the ears. I don't know, but I'm telling you, that is something huge for me, and it might, part of me feels like a crazy woman saying all this, because to anybody who doesn't believe in God, I probably sound like a lunatic. But you know, uh, but it trust me, when you are put in situations where certain noises and certain sound effects stress you out to the point where you're ready to punch something, and then all of a sudden you don't feel that way. That there's like a healing, a miracle, a something good, a higher power at work when I didn't do anything at all and had no negative reaction to that specific noise. And man, if you're watching this and you were the person who prayed for me, thank you. Thank you a million times. And, you know, and maybe not, but it maybe, that person, will never see this, but thank you anyway, because I just, I am, be thankful in everything, in every single thing. And the fact that I am able to be thankful is definitely a sign that I am going back to my old self. I am um feeling more like my old self because I am, you know, it's such a good feeling. And and I believe that that's going to continue, and maybe it has to be one noise at a time. I don't know, but that we'll see the next time I hear that specific noise. If I still don't have any reactions, then man, I've been healed of that, because that's a noise that has bothered me as far back as I can remember. And you know, to not have something make you internally fester for years, and one day it doesn't bother you anymore. And you didn't do anything on your own to make that happen. There's definitely a higher power at work. you know, I'm just I'm full of joy. I'm rejoicing in this one thing that might seem small and minuscule to many other people. But if you suffer, and it really is suffering, it's not like oh, it's just in my head, but you physically suffer from misophonia, because it it makes you tense up, and it makes my heart race, it makes my breathing, you know it's like a different kind of panic attack, but not really a panic attack, not quite as bad. It just makes me full of anger when that happens, and I'm not in control of it, but you know someone else was last night. Someone else took control of the situation, and I did not. I mean, I was just as cool as a cucumber. That has never happened before. Never, ever happened before. Like, I started crying. I was crying last night. I was crying this afternoon when I was telling my parents about it. I just. I'm not crying now because I'm probably all cried out, or maybe I'm just too happy at the moment. I don't know, but I just really wanted to share something exciting that and that you know what, you should be rejoice in the small things, because if you start rejoicing in the small things, then when the big things really happen, you'll appreciate them even more. You know, eh, and just I'm very thankful, and I just I have hope and faith that this is like the start of me not stressing out over different noises, and not, you know, I don't know. I just had to share it. I can't be quiet about this, because for me personally, this is huge for me. Might mean nothing to you, but it's huge for me. I mean, if you've ever seen me get irritated over different sound effects and noises, the ones that bother me, like, you would see, how stressed out I get, and how tense. You don't feel how much I'm tensing up, and like my fists clench and everything, but you could definitely see it on my face. And But that I had none of that last night. It was just such a good it's such a good feeling when you can hear something and not be affected by it. Oh, man. Such a good feeling. This is Chuck E. Cheese all over again. Okay. So, a few years ago, I used to be really, really bothered by a lot of loud noises and a lot of different noises all at once and, like, made my head spin. I'm still not comfortable with it 100%, but one day I was sitting in the church pew, the pastor was talking, and all of a sudden I just felt like my neck give out, like not in a painful way, but just almost like my head was so heavy that I could not keep it up. And so, but I felt like there were two big hands on my head. And I mean, nobody was touching me. Nobody in the physical world was touching me. But I know in my heart that God had his hands on my head. And I didn't understand why. I didn't understand, but I just knew that that's what was happening, and I didn't didn't know why, but I just knew that that's what it. Well, we were supposed to go to take the kids to Chuck E. Cheese later that day. Let me tell you something. Chuck E. Cheese is a very noisy place, full of noisy children who like to sometimes scream, sometimes whatever. Um, and there's lots of kids, and they all make different sounds, and they all do it all at the same time. Okay, and the old me used to get really super like stressed out about that. Like I could not. It was so stressful for me to be in my house if the TV was on and my son was talking to me and my husband was sitting on the phone. I would have to turn the TV off and either go into a different room or have my son wait until my husband got off the phone, because those three different noises happening at once used to drive me insane. It used to make me crazy because I can't concentrate on multiple things. This is why I hate it when people talk in church. And I don't try to use the word hate very often because it is such a negatively powerful word. I cannot stand it when people talk in my church. And it happens every single Sunday. And I'm like 5 years over it because I'm trying to concentrate on the pastor and the worship. And look at me going off on a whole different subject here, but I'm trying to concentrate. Y'all need to be quiet. Not you guys, but the ones who are doing the talking really need to be quiet. That is our time to, worship and focus and listen to what the pastor's saying. And, you know, the worship music is like the most connecting part for me, just because music. But so anyway, so we went to Chuck E. Cheese after this whole like head thing, right? Went to Chuck E. Cheese and uh and my husband was sitting there talking to me, and there's kids screaming around me and running around and stuff. I could hear what he was saying. I I could totally focus on the conversation that we were having, and that was the first time Chuck E. Cheese didn't stress me out as an adult. And I mean, that something changed, something was in motion that day. And I know God, that particular part of my misophonia was healed that day, because I am now able to tolerate better. Um, Lots of different noise happening. I still don't enjoy it, but I can tolerate it and handle it a lot better. And it doesn't fluster me nearly as much as it used to. It's like dropped down several levels. So that right there is just amazing. And I'm happy for it. So this might be another thing that is just checked off of that list of noises that bother Mel. because there's a whole list. There really is. It's a whole paragraph of stuff, but, um, you know, just, I don't know. I'm just happy and I wanted to share it. So, um, you know, don't, nothing is too impossible for God. Nothing is too impossible to, for you to, if you feel like you're always going to feel one way about something in a negative way, you don't have to. At some point, it will change. And I'm seeing that right now. I'm like, last night was like an eye opener, like a moment. I mean, I was really shedding tears over it. Like, it was an experience, but that's huge for me. And so, yeah, I just wanted to share that and hope that that would encourage even one person out there. So, thanks for listening. I know I babble on. Sorry there's no coffee, but I do have Reese's. I have a whole bag full in my freezer, so, if you're local and I know you, you're welcome to stop by and I'll give you some. All right, on that note, I'll catch you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.